Today I'm here with Jeff Kirchick of SCVNGR, and we are going to be talking about geolocation in regards to independent schools and how educational institutions are using this new tool. Jeff at SCVNGR, they're on the cutting edge of this sort of thing, so I came over to SCVNGR, this awesome office in Kendall Square in Cambridge, and we are going to talk a little bit about what all this means and where he thinks geolocation is going and all that stuff. Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Thanks for being here, and I enjoyed our lunch together.
Absolutely. I had a great lunch catered at SCVNGR, so we're ready to go. So I just wanted to ask you a couple questions that I thought were going to be able to give our viewers or subscribers at edSocialMedia a little bit of a gist on SCVNGR and certainly on geolocation in general. So first question I had is, can you tell me a little bit about geolocation and the different things that are currently being done with it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very exciting space right now, and something that I think a lot of people are starting to become aware of. Geolocation is a way for people to use their smartphone to check in to different locations and share where they are with their friends. It's a way for them to interact with their favorite places and share with the things that they like to do at their favorite places with friends. It's amazing all the different kinds of things that are being done with it. You'll see, with Yelp, you can see what kinds of places are around you and the kinds of reviews they get. And I heard of an app recently where you can, kind of tell your boss where you are when you're on your way into work, and you can kind of see if you're stuck in traffic. So it's amazing that you can use geolocation just right from your cell phone to, really take social media and make it mobile. It's almost like the light form of social media, a way for you to incorporate your location in everything you do and share that with your friends. And the things that are being done with it, I think I've touched on it a little bit, but it's pretty general, and it's really expanding. So I mentioned that you can kind of check in at different places, which is a very basic function. And you'll see a lot of people do this as kind of like a social utility. But you'll also see businesses use this as a way to reward customers, loyal customers. They can even build in kind of fun, engaging things for their customers to do while they come. And, recently what's been very interesting is that Facebook has entered the space with their own geolocation service called Facebook Places. So now people can check in to Facebook at their favorite places, and it would share that with their whole social graph on Facebook.
So almost a different way of doing a status update, just where you are.
Exactly, yeah, and you can really make that a lot easier and even put up a photo of where you are too, just by taking a picture with your phone. So that's just something that's really cool about what's happening with that whole thing.
Excellent. That's great. And just to specify for those readers who are not used to using geolocation, it relies on applications with a smartphone and using the location device on your phone to really know where you are. And there's different apps for different things, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that. So next question I have for you, Jeff, is what are some examples of schools using geolocation services now? And our readers are, at edSocialMedia, are interested in social media and education. So where does that really come together? Have you seen it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of funny because in terms of using geolocation perpetually, it's a new concept for schools, a lot of schools. That said, there are almost 400 colleges, I think, that have been doing geolocation type events for the past couple of years. And a lot of that is with us at SCVNGR, orientation type activities and games and things like that, and also maybe some other things as well. But recently there's been a lot more buzz about just having this on campus year-round, just as a way for all different kinds of students or pretty much all the different audiences, allowing them to engage with campus, so alumni, prospective students, current students. In schools that are doing things like that, Boston University just recently used geolocation for an orientation event, and they're going to be using it year-round for their visitors who come to campus as well. Princeton University is one of the first schools to use geolocation. That started off with kind of orientation type stuff. And now actually the town of Princeton is going to be using geolocation for their tourism. Not much going on around there. But now there's been a few independent schools who are starting
excellent.
to enter the space as well.
And just to clarify on that, by orientation programs and what does that really allow with geolocation? What does that allow the school to do?
Yeah, it allows for students to orient themselves with places on campus and engage with those places. But it also provides them with almost a social network on their phone that shows who else is at that place. And what schools really like using, the reason that schools like using geolocation for orientation is because you can build this game layer over that over everything that's going on, and it's a fun way for students to do challenges on campus as well.
Excellent, and I think that certainly, as having been at a boarding school myself, there's all these kids that are just running around meeting each other anyway, and this just makes it that much easier to really get them to interact and know everybody's around, and makes a game out of it.
Yeah, and then plus kids are kind of born with cell phones glued to their hands these days, so it's very fun to see it expand.
Excellent. All right. So why do you think geolocation is important to the school community? Why should schools be interested in using this technology going forward?
Yeah, sure. I think there's a lot of answers to that question. Well, the biggest one being that this is the direction that we're heading in as a society. Mobile is just with us everywhere that we go. It makes sense that as we have this social layer that's Facebook. That has been kind of developed, and it's kind of our social framework, that now we're going to start building the game dynamic over that, the kind of the mobile, the challenge element, or this way that we can influence behavior. So the reason that schools can definitely use this is that it's an on-campus engagement tool. When people come to campus, they can do fun things on campus, and they can see what other people have done at this location. They can share their activity with their friends on Facebook and Twitter, and they can connect with old friends. And it's really going to be useful to appeal to all the different audiences that a school has. They can use it for reunions, for an alumni event. They can use it for prospective students who want to learn more about campus. They can use it for current students who want to, network that way or do fun activities on campus, and even as an educational tool. So I think that because it unites these different audiences, it's very effective at an independent school.
Excellent, and again, coming from an admissions office as my background, the campus tour is a big piece to a puzzle of a kid trying to figure out where they're going to go to school. And I think that what I see geolocation being able to do is not only that kid going on a campus tour, but then going online and seeing the campus they were just at through the eyes of everybody else who's been on that tour, and the pictures they've taken or the comments they've made. And I think that is going to make make the campus tour and the admissions process even more personal and more individual, and that's what it's all about, especially in the independent schools. I'm not as well versed in the college atmosphere, but I think that's I also see this being a huge piece in that puzzle. Excellent. So I guess that leads me to my last question. How do you see geolocation pairing with social media now, and going forward, where is it headed in your eyes? Like where will schools be using it? More towards the they're starting to use it now, but going forward, not just schools, but like everybody using geolocation. It's moving so fast, it seems like.
Absolutely, and it's almost hard to answer that question because it is moving so fast that the sky's the limit.
Right.
I really think that geolocation is going to be what keeps us together as a society. It's kind of be like what we use to do all these different things. Real estate agents are now using it.
Yep.
Even things that you would never think of, the craziest things. You can find use for geolocation. And at schools, I know because you were talking about, how will they use it going forward? And again, I think it's the same thing. Schools are, especially independent schools, let alone colleges. They're very small communities, so they can use geolocation as a tool that will unite them, as a small community in all of their different audiences. And at SCVNGR, we have 3 schools that are starting to build with us, and they're Exeter, Andover, and Roxbury Latin, and they're going to be doing lots of different things. At Roxbury Latin, they'll do alumni geared things, events for alumni using geolocation for reunions. At Exeter and Andover, they can actually use geolocation to build fun activities for visitors to play when they come for a campus visit, so that the campus visit experience doesn't have to end with the interview or whatever the typical process is. So I think slowly schools will start to see the different ways that they can use geolocation in general and start to have fun with it.
Yeah. Excellent. And I when I go to a new place, I always use my Yelp application, or there's various ones that I have on my phone, Siri, that I really enjoy, typing in and seeing what's around me, so that I also see smaller businesses, as I've seen Scavenger do, connecting with smaller businesses and being able to use geolocation to really endorse that the product of the mom and pop shops around, giving deals and wanting people to come in and integrate with what they're doing there. I think that I see geolocation just being a map of advertisements almost.
We got a free appetizer when we
absolutely. Yeah, the other night. Absolutely. Well, Jeff, I really appreciate it. I think our audience is really going to be looking into geolocation as it gets bigger and bigger, and the next time they're out at the store or at the next independent school, be checking in and doing some games. So I really appreciate it, and I look forward to continuing to talk to you about this really cool new service.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right.